Welcome to Flamp Flamp Sports. My name is Richard Harris, and let's talk sports. Welcome to Flamp Flamp Sports. My name is Richard Harris. This is a quick little shot, I like to call this, because I saw something today on espn.com that irked me. My favorite sports team of all time is the 1986 New York Mets, followed by the 1986 New York Giants. The 1986 New York Mets had a team loaded with stars. Players that if they had ended their careers without getting in trouble, as some of them did, could have been Hall of Famers all over the place. The fact that Keith Hernandez is not in the Hall of Fame is a joke. He's one of the great defensive first basemen. He's a league MVP. He's a world champion. A multiple world champion. He is never named, never mentioned in Hall of Fame, ever. Gary Carter, Hall of Famer, incredible catcher, may he rest in peace. The kid, from the first day he was a Met, made an impact. In fact, I believe in 1986, opening day, I could be wrong, that the Mets were playing, I don't remember, it might have been Montreal, might have been St. Louis, might have been Philadelphia. I can't remember. It was somebody in the division. And I believe they won 6-5 in 10 innings on a home run by Gary Carter. His first game as a Met, I believe. I don't remember, but regardless, he's in the Hall of Fame. That team had Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, Kevin McReynolds, Len Dykstra, who became a great player with the Phillies after he left the Mets. That team had Ron Darling, had Sid Fernandez, Bobby Ojeda, Jesse Orosco, who is credited as having the most appearances by a pitcher in Major League history. Ray Knight was an all-star for the Reds, I believe, one year. Kevin Mitchell, who later became a league MVP 2 years later for another team. In short, that team had stars. Whether you talk about Rafael Santana and Kevin Elster, who went on to have success at other teams as well. And of course, Mookie Wilson. The team had talent. It had Hall of Fame potential stars. I saw something on espn.com today that said the 1986 Mets, they're talking about how the 2016 Mets have the swagger of the 1986 Mets. And I damn near jumped off the bus and wanted to go find this writer who wrote that. The 2016 Mets have great pitching. They proved itself last year by getting to the postseason and dominating. But guess what? The only thing that pitching staff has in common with the 1986 pitching staff of the Mets is DeGrom and Gooden won Rookie of the Year. Gooden also won the Cy Young the next year, which DeGrom didn't, although he was a top 4 finisher. And of course, the obvious thing they don't have in common is the 1986 Mets won the World Series. The 2016 Mets are good, but David Wright is not a Hall of Famer. Neither is Cespedes. Neither is Lucas Duda. Neither is Tavares. Lagares, excuse me. Neither is Plawecki. He's not a Gary Carter type catcher. I mean, are you kidding me? The team is good. The 1985 Mets were very good, but the Cardinals were better. The Cardinals had Vince Coleman and Willie McGee had an insane year. Jack Clark. That team was loaded. The 1985 Mets contended with them, battled with them to the end of the season, and just fell short. The 1986 Mets went on to have an 108-win season. They were so dominant that no player was even voted MVP from a team that won 108 games. The MVP of the league that year was Michael Jack Schmidt. I want the 2016 Mets to be humble. I want the 2016 Mets to have a mentality that they did not accomplish anything. They beat the Cubs. They beat the Dodgers. Okay. But they didn't beat the Royals when they should have. In the ninth inning of Game 5, Keith Hernandez makes that throw to home plate. And he's out. Simple. Now, yes, Met history over the last 30 years, they have been a little bit cursed. In 1988, when the Mets had a dominant team and we were about to see what people thought was going to be the Dream World Series, the Bash Brothers of the A's and all their power, going up against the pitching staff of the Mets, Mike Scioscia hit a 3-run home run off Doc Gooden in the ninth inning. Reminds you of Matt Harvey. Well, Matt Harvey wanted to come back to pitch that last inning. Well, Doc Gooden was sensational for 8 innings. But kind of lost a little bit in the ninth inning and gave up the booty. And then they lost 5-4 and 12. There's similarities, but don't you ever say swagger. The 2016 Mets are very good. They got to prove it on the field. They lost Daniel Murphy. Daniel Murphy carried that team last year through thick and thin. The 2015 Mets got breaks that no teams got. They got the Washington Nationals collapsing. The Braves were down. The Phillies were awful. So, Met fans, Met players, keep that swagger to yourself. Win the thing on the field. Do it again. Get back to the big game. Beat Kansas City. You lost to them again tonight. You had runners on the corners with 1 out. And they brought in Davis, who blew away your 2 best players. The 1986 Mets had George Foster, who had hit 52 home runs in the season. So please, don't be nominating us to be anything until we do it on the field. Because the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Pirates, the Giants, the Nationals, they're coming. But that's just one man's opinion.